Okay. Hello, everybody. This will be a update video, I guess you could say, on a very crappy camera, might I add. I've never actually used the camera for my laptop. It's crazy how you can have like such an expensive machine, but the camera is garbage. But I'm not going to complain too much because I'm thankful that this is an avenue that I can use to reach back home and speak. Because some of you know, I was planning on doing like a blog thing or a newsletter, but good heavens, it's been hard to find time and much harder to find energy to do that. But I'll get to that in a bit. I wanted to open up this time first in prayer, just to invite the Spirit into this. But yeah. Good evening, Abba. Finally doing what I've been praying and asking you to give me the motivation and the time to do. I ask you to give me the words I need to say tonight. I pray that whoever sees this video is blessed. That, Father, I'll be able to speak tonight, pouring out the love that you've shown me over these past few months. May your story, may your goodness be shown through this, God. Give me the courage to be able to say the things I'm afraid to say. Or, I mean, heck, that sounds like I'm alluding to something, but yeah, God, just help me to keep my mind straight and keep this clear and concise, Father. Help me to speak clearly. I say this in your wonderful name, Jesus. Amen. So, hello. For a lot of you, it will be it's been a while. I wouldn't be surprised if you've forgotten what my voice sounds like. It's it's the same, I like to think. Maybe it's a little raspy. Oh no, I'm drinking tea to drink it down. Peppermint. Got this cup from Hobbiton. I went there with my DTS, my school, last December. A really cool experience if you're ever in New Zealand. Definitely recommend it. If you are heck, I wouldn't even say even if you aren't a Lord of the Rings fan or a Tolkien nerd in general, it's a really cool experience. But beyond that, there's been a lot of really cool experiences here. And for some others of you, I alluded that a lot of you are, like I said previously, my brain, I'm trying to be poetic for some reason. Let me just speak. For a lot of you, it was, hi, it's been a while. For some others, it's hasn't been quite so long. And of course, and with that, I'm speaking to the people that I met on DTS and other experiences here, whether they've been on outreach, like some of the Soul Edge people who follow me on my socials, or some of the good friends that I made over DTS. I miss you guys. We miss you here. Yes, I'm still at Marine Reach, or Pacific Reach as it's known now. That's fun to think about. Oh yeah, so to the people that don't know, I'm at Marine Reach. Was at Marine Reach. Now it's named Pacific Reach. A little update, I guess, refresher. I'm at a YWAM school. I finished my DTS, which was my discipleship training school, back in March. I was like beginning of March. And from there, I moved into doing the DBS, which is a discipleship Bible school, where we've undertaken reading the whole Bible in 3 months. We are on week 10 out of 12 weeks. So we are very, very close to being done here, which is a very weird thought because that means I will be coming home, coming back to the States for the first time in 9 months. That is very different than what I was expecting to have happen. Sorry, excuse me. How rude. That's what I get for drinking tea. But I digress. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. I'm not gonna lie, but God's been good through it all, and has kept me alive, kept me whole, and has removed a lot of layers and brought a lot of healing that I hope to dive into in a later, hope maybe video. I'm thinking about maybe this being a sort of a vlogging thing I can do rather than a blog, because this seems more achievable to me, being able to speak to a camera. This feels more natural, though I do like writing and writing out stories. Being able to speak them, I feel like captures the emotion a bit better. I guess just a forewarning. People may come in here because I'm kind of in a public space, but not like public space. I'm in what we call the student fridge or the dryer room. So it's like a little, uh, maybe like 5 foot by like 10 foot room. It's pretty small, but yeah. If it sound quality is poor in here, we can chalk it up to the mic, whatever it is, and just hopefully it's intelligible. So yeah, past few months have been very transformative for me. Like I said, I've been doing the DBS, and I just realized I never finished that message I was doing earlier with my DTS friends. Yes, I'm still here at Pacific Reach, but it's not the same without you. Just to put it quickly, it's so strange not walking around and hearing some of your voices. Because still sometimes I walk into a place and expect to see some of you. I hope that you guys are all having amazing times going back to the lives that the Lord has called you to, getting plugged into ministries or having things highlighted. Those of you who've gone back to school, I pray and I hope that your studies are going well and that it's everything that you were excited to have happen. Okay, so now here's, I guess I can get into the update sort of situation. So yes, like I said, I finished up my DTS in March. We came back from outreach, which was a fantastic. To some of you who know, I don't. I guess I'm not really speaking to you well, but my team, we left like beginning of January and went to the island nation of Vanuatu, which is a place I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea existed prior to going there. It was so hot. We were there during the summer season. Um, Praise the Lord, I wasn't in Santo, which some of the other people were in. Very hot there, somehow more hot there. Very humid, like upper 90s most every day in the degrees Fahrenheit. For those who Celsius, 40 degrees around there. Yeah, I'm trying to not really convert myself to Celsius, but I'm trying to learn it. I started doing that during the DTS because I had this inclination I'd be here a while, which I will touch on that in a bit because I've spoken about it in letters and to some of you guys. You guys have no idea, but then others have no idea. But I'll get to that. Sorry that I'm alluding to so much. I've learned that I like to tell stories, but I'm very much someone who likes to get the context before I get to the content sometimes, which is why writing things can be a headache because I don't know what to write and what to cut out. But yeah. So we did outreach in Vanuatu. We were there for about 2 months. Met some really awesome people there at the FCC, whom some of you may see this video. I'm not sure. Met the Soul Edge people like I previously mentioned. Or a really cool bunch of people that we met that were other youth on mission, not with youth with a mission though, which was kind of fun because we initially thought that they were with a YWAM school, but we were mistaken. Not sadly mistaken because they're doing something awesome themselves. But post that, I came back here to New Zealand. Outreach was transformative, and I'm so excited to hopefully go back there one day. We had a speaker that spoke on how when the first time they went there, they had no idea what Vanuatu was. They didn't even know what the people looked like, but they left recognizing that Vanuatu had their heart, and I very much left feeling the same way. So I'm hoping and praying that somehow I'll be back there one day and have a lot of peace and thinking that I will be. Which then again speaks into what I'm hoping and planning to do next, God willing, of course. Just read James. I can't start speaking about what I can and can't do, what I plan to have happen, because we never know what's coming. We never know what's coming. But God willing, I'm hoping to come back here in a few months. But get to that in a second. As I keep saying, came back here. Finished up the DTS, so graduated. It was great, fantastic. Really rough saying goodbye to a lot of amazing people. Some of the closest friends I've ever made. Some of the people who have known the realest and truest me I've ever displayed. I came to know myself as Gabriel, as John Gabriel over this school. So yes, I sent a message, or rather a mysterious thing once on my Instagram story that I no longer wish to be called Gabe. I guess I can speak on this now. I don't want to live in that because I don't want to live with that name, Gabe. I don't want to be called that anymore. And I understand it's gonna be weird for some people, but I hope that it's able to be understood when I go into it a little bit further. But it came in a moment. It was our Holy Spirit week when we were talking and learning about like the idea of what the Holy Spirit is over DTS. It's about like week 5 of lectures, and I was asking God, praying into my identity and who I was, trying to figure that out. I'll have to do a testimony on this at some point because it was a very transformative week for me. For a lot of people, it was a fantastic week. But and during this week, I felt the Lord. They spoke to me through a counselor here, but also he spoke to me himself, just that I'm Gabriel, that I'm John Gabriel. For those who don't know that my what my names mean, I've come to learn that names have a lot of power. Not really just you, not that like the name you're named means that like you're predestined for something, but it's oddly strange how specific and how much they can speak into the things you go through. For me, my name means so John means God is gracious. Gabriel means God is my strength. And Luther means soldier or warrior for the people, which is so I have a pretty cool name. Thanks, mom and dad. I'm pretty honored to have that. But my first some of the lot of things I've dealt with is not feeling like I'm able to be forgiven, or that I am an awful person, or I'm a mistake, and that I'm also weak. And no, I'm not loved or seen by God. That was something that I really struggled with when I walked through a lot of depression. But my name speaks the exact opposite of that, and the Lord really brought that to my attention. So, yes, I will be introducing myself to a lot of you back home again as John Gabriel, or as you can call me, Gabriel. Either works. If you call me Gabe, I won't be upset. I get it. I totally understand. I've known a lot of you my entire life I mean, you know me, the entirety of us knowing each other as me as Gabe, but that's not my name. My name's Gabriel. Um, that's kind of cool to talk about that. So I was wondering how I was going to like break the ice, I guess you could say. Hopefully I don't make this video too long. I'll try to make it short. But yeah, DTS was fantastic. Said goodbye to a lot of really awesome people. Hopefully we'll see some of you again. Had that feeling that God was saying that I would see some of you again, and hearing some of your plans of what you're doing makes me really excited, and I'm so happy to see those things come to fruition. But I hope to see you guys again one day. We will in heaven. But in the meantime, I miss you. Um, yeah, so DTS came to a close. In the meantime, between DTS and DBS, I got accepted to DBS, by the way, kind of late to the story. I applied for that, had the Lord tell me to do that in week 2, and I surrendered that to him, telling him also that I was going to go into long-term missions after this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to move forward with being a missionary. I technically am one, which is a weird thing I've had to grasp completely because I have lived on mission and am currently living on mission. So yeah, I'm a missionary. That's really cool to say. Yeah. So yeah, shucks. So I did the DBS, still doing the DBS, but in the meantime, between DTS and DBS, I went up to YWAM Zion. Hello, those folks. Hope you guys are doing great on outreach. I'm so glad that you guys got to go to Vanuatu. Some of you got to go to Indonesia, other places too. I'm pretty sure you guys made to Fiji at one point because for Air Vanuatu, the airplanes that the main way to get to Vanuatu that was the cheapest went bankrupt in the meantime while you guys were there, and that was a whole brouhaha. But praise the Lord, you guys got home safe. If you guys being back home, be praying for this nation of Vanuatu because we feel very, very called to minister there. But it's been very clear that something does not want us there, which means that we are doing good work. We need to keep pressing on and not let this be a defeat. Because there's some really awesome people there that deserve to know Jesus. Um, I went to Zion, um, did mission building there, which means I just helped out on staff for a little bit. I helped out there for like a little less than 2 weeks. Why does my camera look worse and worse? I helped out in the kitchen there. It was great. I got to know some awesome people. Got to reconnect with people that spoke on my DTS. It was awesome. Then I came back to Pacific Reach. Really weird saying that. Came back here. I helped out in the same idea, not only just exclusive to the kitchen, just wherever I can help out. And yeah, then we started the DBS. DBS has been fantastic. We are in our church week. We haven't really been reading through the Bible in like a chronological order, like the way that like the books are ordered, rather, excuse me, in the Bible. We'll read them like in the genre or by the author and stuff like that, which has been really, really nice actually, because it makes things like fit together. So instead of just like having that weird break between like First Kings and Second Kings and like later on just coming back to like Chronicles and it being like, we just read this. We read it all together, so it's like doubling down on the information and we can just process it a little bit more, which is really, really cool. So this week we were doing church week, so we were reading like Acts, First and Second Peter. We've read James and Jude. Tomorrow or rather tomorrow we'll read Second Peter. We read First Peter today. Second Peter tomorrow. We're gonna do Corinthians this week. Just a lot of really awesome books. Man, read through the Old Testament for the first time ever in my life. That was nuts. I cannot wait to go back through and read the Bible again. For a lot of my people back home, I've heard that there are some people reading through the Bible as well right now. And I'm so excited to have these conversations with you and I come back and explain, and not really explain, but like talk to you about things that I learned and hear your revelations and compare notes. It's going to be awesome because like I've taken notes for the first time in my life and truly like have enjoyed it. It's crazy when you go to school for something and how like that can heal your perspective of school when you're finally learning and doing something you actually care about. It's such a healing experience because for a lot of you, you know, I struggled with school, but here I've only had like 1 week where I didn't turn in all my assignments, and that was because of just sickness. Because I got like sick and I was just yeah, it was a hard week. But even in that, like the person who I turned in my homework to was understanding and was like, yeah, just get rest. But every other week, every single assignment, which I'm like, I personally, I'm proud of myself for that. I would have never been able to do this without God. And I just want to give him all the glory in that and just express how thankful I am for the journey he's brought me on through the pain and through the hurt. It says into James to find joy in the suffering and just continue to praise God. Yeah, as you can see, we read James this week, so it's a lot in my mind. Heck, it's like that in First Peter too. First Peter is such a great book. Such a good book. I want to read it again. It's so short. I probably could tonight, but I have homework to do after this. Woo! Yeah, homework's fun. Um, but yeah, hmm. DBS has been great. We are finishing up in a few weeks. There's been a DTS that is running right now while we're here, so we've been like living in community still with them. They will be finishing up their time this weekend, which will be really weird because then it's going to feel really, really empty, which is both a blessing and a curse because there's some like awesome people here. Excuse me, whom I really wanted to be intentional with, but like due to the like time constraint and all like my responsibilities with the DBS, can't really do that. And with them leaving, don't know when, if forever will I. Wow, I almost spoke like Yoda. When or if ever will I ever be? That still sounds like I'm speaking in like code. I don't know if I'll ever be able to speak to them on this side of things, but praying that God will keep these connections strong and that they'll be blessed on their way out. Because man, it's a man, I'm still processing the idea of coming home. I'm still not. Yeah, weird, weird. I hope that they have a good time heading back home, nonetheless. But yeah. So DBS has been great. Sorry if I'm repeating myself a lot. Don't really have a script for this, if you can't really tell. I like to do things spontaneous and rely on the Lord rather than on my own strength. Not that I'm not allowed to prepare, but I knew if going into this, if I was going to prepare, I'd put it off. So here we are. Hopefully it's making sense. We are about at the 20-minute mark. This is going to be a heck of a thing to upload to YouTube, which is what I'm planning on doing. Sending everybody the link. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. You probably would have already received it. But yeah, DBS has been awesome. I hope to go further into Revelations and things that, like, well, the book as well, but also just like what things that God has shown me and taught me over this time. Just he's really been hitting home on the father heart, which has been really really cool because I didn't even process this idea that of him like showing me this like a few weeks ago. It was like our tribal week, so we read through like Judges and like Joshua and like just like the tribal like era of the Israelites, like coming out of like living in the wilderness and stuff like that, and coming into Jerusalem for the first time. Yeah, I had this whole coming to God moment of just like, who am I to you? Just asking God that and asking Him what it means to be a son. Because I was asked this question, it was like, okay, like I was asking people, letting them know that like it'd be nice to like know. I was struggling with a lot of like fear that I didn't belong, and I asked people to be like, hey, if you could be building me up, or like just not really building me up, but like speaking light into this in any sort of way, I would really appreciate it. Then one of my friends, Jared, asked me, hey, what do you think God thinks of you? What does God think of you? And I was able to answer the question, but I didn't really know what all that meant. I was able to answer like, I know that I'm his son, that he loves me. But the more I thought about that, I was like, what does that mean? So I asked him, like, what does it mean to be your son? What do you view me as? And over the past like few weeks, due to like a an assignment that didn't even like, so we were working on a final project, and this was an assignment for the final project, but now the final project's been like restructured, so we didn't even need to do that assignment. But I'm very glad we did the assignment because it helped me reflect and realize that God has been showing me that what that means over the past few weeks. Heck, He's been showing me that over the past few months, what it means to be His son. Spoke to me very heavily in Isaiah 43:10 and Isaiah 43:13, specifically those verses of Him reaching down and holding our hand and telling us He is our help. I can't help but see a kind and caring father, a loving dad who desires to be with us, especially when you think about the hand, because it all throughout the Old Testament, heck, even in the New Testament, it speaks about his hand being on people. The first time we really see that being used as verbiage is when he's choosing somebody. His hand being on his chosen. We see that attributed to like when Cyrus is picked to free the Israelites from exile, or with Moses as he's described in Isaiah as well, with his hand being God's hand being on Moses' arm, or in the earliest, like I can think, I mean, I'm sure it's other places, but like an example I have in my brain is Joshua, where he's talking about how all these victories are coming from the Lord's hand. His hand is on Joshua. These people were chosen. And if he has just stuck his hand, has reached down and grabbed ours, what does that mean for us? What does that mean? It means that we're chosen. That I'm not his son by happenstance. I'm not loved by him by happenstance or just because. I'm loved by him because he's chosen to love me. Yeah, it's been a really, really awesome time here. And I just, we're not even done. We're not even done. So there's still so much more that God can do in this time. And I'm so excited to see what comes next. But on the topic of coming next, um, I feel very much called here to New Zealand. Way back when I was prophesied over that the Lord would use me to breathe life into a dying nation. Yeah, I know how crazy that sounds. It was crazy to me when I heard it. But recognizing that he called me into missions, it makes a lot of sense now, especially combining with the story that dang, man, ooh, I was almost combined two words there and it almost sounded bad. Almost combined dang and man, and it came out like, it would have been Dan, but I guess that's a dude's name. But I haven't really told anybody this story. I feel like I should. So yeah, well, I've told people this story, but not really people back home. So when I was about 11 years old, I got locked outside my house. I know I said my parents' house, I guess, because I don't really live there, but now, but at my house, I was walking a dog. Her name was Sugar. It wasn't even my dog. It was the summer between fifth and sixth grade. I remember looking up into the sky, having this feeling that I should look up into the sky. I should love watching the clouds. I wasn't able to get back inside the house because our extra key wasn't there. And sorry to say this, but mom, you were in the shower, so you couldn't come get me. But I looked up into the sky and I started looking at the clouds, trying to see what I could see. And I looked up into the sky and I saw, clear as day, Luke 1:19. Luke 1:19 is this. The angel said to him, I am Gabriel. I stand in the presence of God, and I have been sent to speak to you and tell you this good news. So that combined with the other thing of being used to breathe life into a dying nation, yeah, I'm being called into missions, which means it's going to be a lot of hard work and a lot of reliance on God, which I don't want it in any other way. I'm still in a season of equipping as I'm finishing up this DBS, and as I come home, it will be for a short amount of time. I'm praying and I'm hoping because I've applied to be here as a staff member at Pacific Reach in October. I'm praying and I'm hoping that I will be here. If not here, then I have not really backups, but I have other ideas of ministries I want to be here in New Zealand because I feel called to New Zealand. I was praying into like what nation that would be. That would be breathing life into, for lack of a better word. And the Lord really showed me that it'd be here. So yeah, I'm not sure what that's all gonna look like. It's gonna be a lot of planning and a lot of communication, but I will be figuring that out and keeping you guys updated as much as I can. In the meantime, I'm still fundraising to be here right now to finish up this DBS. Um, yeah, I'm in. I don't want to say in desperate need, but I'm in need in the financial department and in being able to pay off this school. I have paid about $1,000 of it, $1,000 New Zealand, that is. I had to use, it's a cool story. I had to use my, what I was going to pay for the DBS to, stay in the country due to having to, reapply for visas and having to have a ticket out of here as proof. So all the money that I had to go to the DBS got used so that I could stay in the country to finish the DBS. So I'm still very much in a season of being in need. I mean, I will be in that season for a really long time, granted. But I'm very thankful that the Lord is teaching me in this space to be financially dependent on Him because I'm in an area where I'm in a place that is very patient and is understanding. So I'm glad that I'm learning financial dependence in this space rather than just being in the middle of like say like like just living in the I don't even just like Siberia or something somewhere and I'm just like okay I'm like really cold and I don't know what to do but like I have no money and learning there. I'm very thankful for this place and how it's played such a huge role in learning and just teaching. Well, I guess it's the same thing. But yeah, it's been a fantastic place. I hope to send pictures or something with this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I'm trying to figure out a way to share information and continuously like post things and like share with you guys my experiences here. I would love to show you my time with outreach. I'm sorry that I haven't. I've been very lackluster on that, and I'm so sorry. That's my fault. I needed to be prioritizing this a bit more, and I'm sorry that it's taking so long to get here. Prayer requests could be that I just find energy to continue on to close out this season. That I would be finding fulfillment in the Lord and not the work that I do. I'll be praying for the DTS that is leaving as their time of year is coming to a close. That they just be their way would be prepared for them back home. That the Lord would be just be speaking life and light into their ministries. That they'll be being plugged into to old opportunities. That upon returning home, that friendships won't end, but there will be new beginnings found. And yeah, just yeah, yeah. I would really appreciate you guys praying for them. Be praying for my finances because spiritual blessings are as amazing as financial ones, if not more valuable. Dang, I'm at 30 minutes. I was gonna try to shoot for this to be 15 minutes. If none of you guys watch this, I'm so sorry. But hopefully it gets the message across and I'm able to explain what's going on. If anybody has any questions, there should be a comment section down below on this, or if you want to reach out to me on Gmail, which I will have my email in the description for this, I guess, along with like other ways you can donate to me being here. Oh yeah, if I were to get accepted as a staff member, which I haven't heard back from yet, they're waiting to do that until the end of DBS. But with every passing day and every single time I surrender that fear of not being accepted here, I've come to a lot more peace and a lot more confidence that I will be. Which I know, oh, that'd be really awkward if I if I get denied. But hey, if God doesn't have me here, He'll show me where He'll want me to be, and I trust Him. But yeah, if I were to stay here, I will still be in a season of fundraising, and I will be for a really long time. Because with the visa that I'll have, I will not be able to work here. Maybe I can figure that out while I'm back home, but I feel like that's not really the ministry that the Lord's calling me into. It's discipleship. I'm grown very passionate in realizing that I want to build up believers and pastor them, to disciple to them and share my stories and hear theirs and reflect and grow together. To find community and love on one another in the image of God is just a dream. And right now, I'm living it. I miss you guys so much. I'll see you soon. I will be back some point in July. I'm not sure when because I can't really I was able to get a ticket as far as Colorado. Don't have one to get back to North Carolina as of right now. So I'll be praying for that. That I can get back home. That'd be great. Yeah. If you guys have anything you want me to be praying for, you can leave that down in the comments or shoot me an email. Please stay in contact. I know that I've been really bad at staying in contact with a lot of you. Some of you I'll reach out every once in a blue moon, but I don't want me being far away to be an excuse for like on either side that we can't reach out to one another. We live in the technological age, so don't be afraid to reach out. Shoot me an email, send me a text on WhatsApp because I don't have signal here. I'm a WhatsApp guy now. I was about to say kid, but I'm not a child. I'm 23. Spent my first ever birthday not in North Carolina. Here, woo. Yeah, it's been a lot of new things, a lot of first time experiences. And I know it's only the beginning of a life led by the Lord. I've never been so excited. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. I guess see you in the next one. I feel like a YouTuber saying a dismissal. Ah, that's funny. All right. Peace. And God bless. I feel like there's something I need to say. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'll figure out what to do in this ending space. Bye.